Hi, my name is Taylor Madden, and I'll be discussing how I feel about the Revolver album by the Beatles. So first off, what I'd like to say is that I thought the album was very unique. Obviously, the Beatles were groundbreaking musicians, and what they would write about, what they would do, it touched the hearts and minds of millions upon millions, probably even close to billions. But what was so unique about their music and this album in particular is that what they did was they did the same thing the Beatles always do. They write songs about love and peace and happiness in the world, but with this Revolver album they did it differently. You know, they managed to find another unique sound that the Beatles can just say, yeah, we came up with that, or we did that on our Revolver album. When I say they had unique sounds, I mean, like, for example, Love You Too has a very, the instrument, it's the sitar sounding, kind of, that sound right there, it is unique for what they were doing at the time and what technology they had available to them, really, honestly. It's incredible that they were able to work that out on a 4-track, more than likely. You know, 4 in, 4 out. Not the biggest piece of technology they've ever seen or we've ever seen, but it definitely, the Beatles made it work, which is another reason why this album. Another thing that makes this album unique is the range of songs and the sounds that they decide to use on this album. Like I said before, Love You Too has a very strange, foreign kind of Middle Eastern sound with the sitar ringing out with the delays on it. But then they also have Yellow Submarine playing in the background right now, which is more of a, that's a classic Beatles kind of sounding song. That's what you expect to hear from the Beatles. Another song like Eleanor Rigby is another classic song by the Beatles. That's a very Beatles sounding song that they put out on this album. But it also recorded with incredible detail. Obviously, there's Ringo, John, Paul, and George, obviously, and the 4 of them, and that's only 4 instruments, but with all the strings and all the other bells in the background, Eleanor Rigby is a very unique sounding song for, obviously, like I said before, with the technology they've had at that time, they managed to make that work to a degree that was, like I said before, unheard of at that time. The Beatles were changing music with each album and each song they made, and Revolver is definitely one of the top albums that the Beatles ever released. That, in my opinion, was more groundbreaking, especially with just the recording techniques, the sounds they used, the lyrical themes, everything. The album was put together perfectly. It wasn't lacking music talent. Musically, the songs were great. Lyrically, the songs were, written by any one of the Beatles. They were, everyone loved any song the Beatles wrote. The whole album was pretty much just put together perfectly in the opinion of probably a fair amount of people, you could say. But in my opinion, I think this is an album that has forever changed music and will forever affect how music is played, listened to, learned, and recorded. This is my podcast for Music History 2, and my name is Taylor Madden.